This time, I'd like to call the Physical Services Committee meeting to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
Counselor Burridge.
Here.
Counselor Benucci.
Here.
Counselor Walker.
Here. Go ahead.
Counselor Gozick.
Excuse. Tried to jump the gun there. I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes of the September 3rd, 2024 committee meeting, please. Counselor Walker, Counselor Benucci.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Benucci.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
See no old business, I'll move on to new business. Number one, the Zoning and Planning Office has received a request for use of public space from Oswego Health, owners of a commercial property located at 110 West 6th Street, in order to install new sidewalks, curb, trees, landscaping, and dumpster enclosure.
So I met with Oswego Hospital and their architects a couple of weeks ago. If anybody's familiar with the 7th Street side, just north of the emergency ambulance entrance is where their CAT scan machine usually pulls in there. There's a large concrete pad just west of the building that's in pretty rough shape. Part of their plan is they're gonna tear all that concrete out, put in a new good-looking concrete pad, and also the sidewalk there pushes out west of the actual sidewalk. There's a jog, and they're farther out into public space. They're actually going to retract that, keep the line straight, come through the emergency room entrance and carry the sidewalk right through where now there is no sidewalk there. It's all just paved. Part of their plan is they're going to, when they move that sidewalk back, they're going to reclaim some green space, do some shrubbery and planting along there. And then north of that is where they keep their dumpster, where the little cooling tower is there. They're going to enclose that, plant some shrubbery so the neighbors can't see that, as well as do a little landscaping and manicuring there along that side. So as far as the hospital goes, it's not a huge project, but as far as the city goes, it's actually very aesthetically pleasing compared to what's there. It's definitely going to be a huge improvement. Gaining back a little green space, cleaning up the concrete that's there that's old and broken up.
Thank you, Mr. McGinn. Any other people like to speak on this matter? Can I have a motion to accept? Counselor Walker, Counselor Benucci.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Benucci.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Number two, the Office of Economic Development has received a request for use of public space from Carrie Gwynn regarding the 2024 Buck Spirit Parade on Wednesday, October 16th, 2024, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Does anybody like to speak on that matter?
Evening, Council. The Buck Booster Parade, if anyone isn't familiar with it, it's been going on for quite a few years now. They started on, we came up West 1st Street from the port, up Bridge Street, Hillside Ave to the high school. Last year, working with the cities, with our committee, event committee, we suggested they go from KPS down Utica Street to the high school. We'll give it a try. It was fantastic. They've got some of the businesses along the way involved this year. Should be another great event for them. Gets them off the main traffic of Bridge Street, and really good for the kids and for the school spirit.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anybody else like to speak on it? Can I have a motion for that, please? Counselor Walker, Counselor Benucci.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Benucci.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
The Office of Economic Development has received a request from John Fitzgibbons for use of public space to host a block party on Sunday, September 29, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Good evening. I am not John Fitzgibbons. I think that's pretty obvious. My name is Rebecca Birch. I live next door to John. He asked me to come here in his stead. So this is probably the 4th or 5th year we've had a block party. It's the typical barbecue, sometimes live music, all of the neighbors from 6th to 8th and from Oneida to Utica are invited. And we close off the one block and have a party there.
What time does your party start? I see here that Economic Development puts the whole day down usually.
Yes, yes. So it would usually, we close it off at, I think it's 10. I think that's the typical time. And then we set everything up, and I think we don't have to take it down until dusk or so, and given our neighborhood, there will be people out there chatting until
Thank
we
you.
tell them to leave. Yeah.
Anybody else would like to speak on the matter? Any questions? I have a motion. Counselor Walker, Counselor Benucci.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Number 4, the Office of Economic Development has received a request from Trish Levine of the Oswego YMCA for use of public space on October 5th through October 6th at East Park, Washington Square Park, to host the annual Pumpkin Festival. This is a rescind and replace. Anybody here like to speak on that matter? Can I have a motion to accept? Counselor Walker, Counselor Benucci.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
This time I'd like to have a motion to close the meeting. Counselor Walker, Counselor Benucci.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
This time, I would like to call to order the Administrative Services Committee. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Plunkett,
Here.
Counselor Burridge,
Here.
Counselor Allen,
Here.
Counselor Benucci,
Here.
Counselor Walton.
Here.
I'd like a motion to accept the minutes from the previous meeting, September 3rd, 2024. Counselor Allen, Counselor Walton.
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Allen,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Walton.
Yes.
Is there any old business? Item number 1 under authorization. City Engineer Jeff Hinderleiter requests authorization for the City Chamberlain to complete a budget amendment to the engineering contracted services account in the amount of $59,366.91 to cover costs associated with a professional services agreement with Brookfield Power New York Hydro Services, LLC. Mr. City Engineer?
Good evening, councilors. If you remember back in the spring, we went ahead and moved some money around to pay an invoice from Brookfield. This is part of our ongoing cost-sharing agreement. And at the time, I said that when we received the next one in the fall, we'd have to do a budget amendment to cover it. So it is now the fall, and here it is. You'll notice that I do have them itemized, the things that we are contributing towards. And you can see in the description, it's the fisherman alert system, the public safety training, the camera maintenance, the river steward training. These are all things, they're only allowed to bill us half of the things associated with the fisherman alert system. And so you'll see that the total of this bill is $59,366.91. And that, I believe this is our 3rd billing for the year, so it's my understanding they're going to bill us 3 times a year, so this should be it for the remainder of the year. Next year, we went ahead and included the $120,000 in the city budget, so we won't have to come back and do this exercise.
Any questions for the City Engineer? Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Allen, Counselor Burridge.
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Allen,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Walton.
Yes.
Item number 2. City Engineer Jeff Hinderleiter requests authorization for the mayor to sign change order number 1 with Northern Asphalt LLC in the amount of $43,868.88 for costs associated with closing out the 2024 milling and paving project. Mr. City Engineer?
So Vercelli Northern won the bid for the contract, and they have completed their scope of work. As is typical with our contracts, we have an over-under. What we have learned in these contracts, and you try to plan, but is that the east side of the city has traditionally has had as many paving projects over the years. And so the pavements tend to be thinner, and so when we get milling the streets, unforeseens come up. And so in the past, the city and its paving operations has tried to just Band-Aid it until the next paving project. We've started working, the commissioner and I, at building in more deeper repairs and things so that when we hit those thin spots, we can deal with them kind of correctly, and we hopefully can come back to that street fewer times. So as we worked, we did have overruns, we always have underruns, and this is balancing that. But we did end up, in the end, you'll notice, and just to show how this change order works, you'll see we had $127,423.78 in material overruns. There were items that we underran, $23,554.90. I build in our projects a field change allowance. What this allows for is a discretionary budget to cover unforeseens. It's not to add work that you haven't approved. It's not a slush fund for the engineer or the commissioner to just do what we want. But what it is specifically for is trying to measure the uncertainty and deal with it. So that amount was built into the contract, and what we're left then with is $43,868.88 of bona fide overruns in the contract. And this will be to make it whole. Now, these are paid out of reimbursable expenses, reimbursable monies from the state through our CHIPS fund, emergency winter recovery money, Pave New York, POP, Pave Our Pothole program. These are all funds that we draw out of from the state. So this money will advance it, but will get reimbursed. In case you're wondering, we do have money left over in our CHIPS fund. While we did spend almost $990,000 in paving, if you approve this change order, we still have about $400,000 remaining in CHIPS funds, and we usually carry some over as a fund that allows us, if we need to deal with something quickly, we have monies available and can exercise it, piggyback, and have some work done. So we like to leave a little bit there to carry over from year to year, just in case something comes up in between our paving program.
Counselor Allen?
Yeah, and then just for clarity for the council, also, you and I discussed in the hall, that money does not expire.
Correct.
Carry over.
Correct.
So, just so
Yep.
everybody knows, okay.
The time limit that's in CHIPS is only, we have 18 months to seek a reimbursement. So the monies that we put out this summer, we have 18 months to come back to the state and submit those invoices. We don't like to let it sit that long. We do authorize the city chamberlain to advance current city funds to cover this, and it is almost $1 million, and so we like to have her sleep at night and not get too nervous and get these reimbursements back to the city as quickly as we can.
Any more questions? Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Allen, Counselor Walton.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burridge?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Vernucci?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Thank you, Jeff. Item number 3, Craig Rebior, Commissioner of Public Works and Parks and Recreation, requests authorization for the city chamberlain to complete a budget amendment to the Shade Trees and Parks Contracted Services account in the amount of $8,000 to cover costs associated with truck repairs. Mr. Commissioner?
Counselors, hopefully you read your email a week or so back. The tree truck fell into some disrepair and did not pass its safety inspection for the boom lift and the bucket. Those repairs are a little less than $8,000. It was not an item budgeted for, so we're asking for this additional funds in their budget to go ahead and get our truck back. They're telling me about 2 weeks.
That's great news. I'm sure the constituents will appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Any questions? Counselor Burridge?
What cost us $8,000 on that?
We replaced the bucket. I don't have the exact, the bucket itself, the work bucket needed to be replaced. And the boom needed to, it's a fiberglass boom, needed a minor repair and needed to be re-epoxied, the entire boom, to make it insulated for the electric lines. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, a motion, please. Counselor Vernucci, Counselor Allen.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burridge?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Vernucci?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Item number 4, Craig Rebior, Commissioner of Public Works and Parks and Recreation, requests authorization for the city chamberlain to complete a transfer of funds from the transmission and distribution equipment account to the transmission and distribution materials and supplies account in the amount of $3,260. Commissioner?
This is the balance left over in the equipment account after the equipment purchases were made this year. By nature of the account, you can't purchase anything out that account that's less than $5,000, so this money is dead money sitting where it is. We'll get it into the materials and supplies where it can be used. The crew has planned a purchase of a new pipe cutting saw, which will make them more efficient in the field when they're repairing water mains.
Any questions? Okay, a motion, please. Counselor Vernucci, Counselor Walton.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burridge?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Vernucci?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Item number 5, Craig Rebior, Commissioner of Public Works and Parks and Recreation, requests authorization to send various items and equipment to public auction. Mr. Commissioner?
Councilors reviewed the list that was sent along with this. Anyone have any questions on any of the equipment we're sending to auction?
Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Burge, Counselor Vernucci.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burge?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Vernucci?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Item number 6, Craig Rebior, Commissioner of Public Works and Parks and Recreation, requests authorization to accept a donation of a snow blower from Oswego Walmart 1926 to be used by the City of Oswego custodians and Oswego Police Department.
The Walmart store in Oswego was gracious. They reached out with an overstock snow blower, offered to donate it to the city for use in city buildings.
Excellent. Hopefully, we won't have to use it much this year. Any
I disagree.
questions? Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Allen, Counselor Burge.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burge?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Vernucci?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Thank you, Craig. Item number 7, Police Chief Philip Cady requests authorization for the mayor to execute any documents regarding the acceptance of a $10,851 grant for participating in the New York State Highway Safety Program and further authorize the city chamberlain to accept the aforementioned funds. Chief Cady?
Thank you, Councilor Plunkett. This is a traffic safety grant, so when you guys call and say we have issues on a certain road or speeding, stop signs, crosswalks, all that stuff, this gives us extra money to add extra patrols. It's paid for by the state.
Great. Counselor Allen?
I just want to say thank you, Chief, for being proactive and going after these grants, and this is the second one in as many weeks, so we certainly appreciate that.
Yeah, I have to give all the credit to Officer Brandon Lummis. He's does our accreditation and grant writing, and the kid's a whiz. He's pretty good at it, so.
Great, well, let's
happy to bring it to
treat
you
him
guys.
well, okay? And
Yep.
thank you.
Oh, you want to give him a raise? Is that- No. Take it easy, Dave.
Any more questions or comments for the chief? Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Walton, Counselor Allen.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burge?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Vernucci?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Item number 8, City Chamberlain Deborah Code requests authorization to complete a budget amendment in the amount of $187,016 to the Bond Anticipation Notes Interest Account for debt interest. The City Chamberlain?
Thank you, Counselor. This was a bond that was planned to be borrowed here in 2024 so that we could get the payments into 25 budget. However, it became necessary to borrow the funds in fall of 2023. The bond is actually for the repairs to the high dam and the, I'm going to say this wrong, the toe scour, is that right? Toe scour repair. So we're paying the interest and we'll roll the principal until 2025.
Any questions or comments? Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Burge, Counselor Allen.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burge?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Vernucci?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Buddy, have anything else? Can I get a motion to adjourn? Counselor Allen, Counselor Vernucci.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burge? Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Vernucci?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.